Good afternoon, LinkedIn, Facebook fans, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. This is your Monday morning. A lot of you guys, this is the start of the week. You guys going crazy, but this is something that this is what we call the road to the conference. Veterans Council Veterans. We're going to be having a conference, a 2-day conference on the 9th and 10th of June, 8-4 every day, both days at St. Pete Gibbs College campus. And this conference is something that's going to be very comprehensive. You're going to see as quality panelists and guest speakers. But, one of the questions you may ask yourself is, well, why are we having this conference, Tony? Why are you having this conference? I'm going to tell you why I'm having this conference. One of the reasons why. We had 3 soldiers for the month of March who died by suicide after reporting that they were sexually assaulted. 2 of them, you see, Balasuda and Wiko, were both from Fort Hood. And the other one is Sergeant First Class Bailey from National Guard in Missouri. So what people don't know is that women veterans have twice the rate of suicide than non-women veterans. And the main reason why is military sexual assault. So that's one of the reasons why we're doing it. We got to sit there and prevent someone dying by suicide because of the sexual assault, which we all know who've been in the military. It's one of the most gravest betrayals you can do when you get assaulted by your own fellow veterans. What's even more worse is then the retaliation when you sit there, you report, and it really, you find your people you thought you can count on. Next thing you know, they're siding with the perpetrator. So we're going to sit there. I'm really excited because we got 3 really great guests. I'm excited to bring you to you. That's going to be at the conference with the panel. But of course, before I do any of that, got to do the intro. There we go. And we got less than a month, man. Matter of fact, less than 20 days before our conference, June 9th and 10th. And we have every week we have we introduce a panelist or guest that's part of the panel. So you can see this is a quality all-star panelist. And these guests come on right now. Absolutely no, it's like grade A, absolute prime. And I want you to meet the ladies as we come on board here. And I'll bring them up to the green room. And so what we got, I want to introduce you guys real quick. These ladies here, and depends how you're looking at it. I got Taryn McLaughlin, who's to my right. She's going to be she's really going to want to make sure that the veterans who are survivors, have that attention. And she's going to be in charge of the yoga and the meditation both 2 days. We also have We also have Dr. Kim Kinsler, psychologist, veteran. And we have Dr. Saarah Nicolas, who has lots of experience working with veterans with trauma. In fact, she worked at Bay Pines. But what you ladies to do right now is just introduce yourself. I know I introduced you, but give us a little quick insight about who you are. And we'll start with Taryn, since she's to my right. Go ahead, Taryn. Tell us about yourself real quick.
Oh, aloha, everyone. Thank you for having me here, Tony. I really appreciate the opportunity to share this. My name is Taryn McLaughlin. I am a Navy veteran, so I've also served in time with the JAG Corps. So I also have a legal background, but I gave that up because I wanted to follow my passion to bring yoga, resilience, and wellness tools to the community that I love so much, which is the military community. I'm really excited to be able to bring some of this stuff to the conference and talk about it a little bit more.
Can you give us real quick, like 1 minute, how important is the meditation yoga when it comes to the survivors trying to go through this?
I like to say that I'm a walking, breathing example of why yoga and meditation works, because I experienced trauma while I'm in military service, and then secondary trauma in my legal career because I worked prosecuting a lot of really heinous type of crimes, basically. But learning how to regulate our nervous system is so important. And yoga, through mindfulness and wellness tools, we call them resiliency tools. Those are really ways that we can tap into our own bodies and discover when we're feeling activated, triggered, what is it that we're feeling within our body, and then using breath work, using, repetition of perhaps affirmations that can help us move beyond that exact moment in time where we're dysregulated, so that we can make good choices about how we're going to proceed from that moment on. And it's really about being aware of ourselves and our body, and then that connection from body to mind. Right.
Thank you. I appreciate it, because it's very important. In fact, you'll be really working yourself off on on the Friday and Saturdays throughout the whole conference, so we can get people a chance to sit there and process what they may have felt. And then we got the two experts, right? The talk therapy. We got Dr. Kinsler. Please introduce yourself, Dr. Kinsler.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kinsler. I am an Army vet, and I am the co-owner of Kinsler Psychology, and we do counseling, testing, and medication management. And I'm excited to be presenting with Tony once again as a guest. I'm glad that we are shining the light on the experiences and the trauma, as well as the help that's available for victims of military sexual abuse. I'm in the Tampa Bay area, and thank you, Tony, for allowing me to present.
Thanks for agreeing. And one thing you talked about a while ago, Dr. Kinsler, one of your presentations was generational trauma. We want to talk about that too at this conference, because the VA is so focused on the veteran, they kind of forget about the family. And my thought is, especially Veterans Council veterans, strengthen the family, strengthen the veteran. And the VA's concept, strengthen the veterans, strengthen the family. And I think you'll bring that skill set to them, I'm sure, as Dr. Nicolas as well. Thank you very much, Kimberly, for being here as well, Dr. Kinsler. And also, last but not least, Dr. Saarah Nicolas. Introduce yourself.
Hi, Tony. Thanks for having me. I'm Dr. Saarah Nicolas. I, as you said in the beginning, used to work at Bay Pines. I decided to work at Bay Pines very early in my career. I found I had a strong passion for working with folks who had sexual trauma, and who better to treat than the folks of our armed services, because there's quite a lot of sexual trauma, as you've been sharing with the world. I've also worked at the Tampa VA as a MST psychologist, and now I own Mindful Roots Counseling and specialize in complex trauma. And I think you all made an important point there about the family being first, and about generational trauma, specifically because we find that there is already so much generational trauma for many veterans who have already experienced MST. It's a compounding thing, and it's very complex.
Right, and I appreciate that. And one of the specialties that we bring you on as well, not too long ago we had a panel just for the male sexual trauma survivors, but we also are going to sit there and talk to minority veterans who are sexual assault survivors, because oftentimes their story is different, and you don't get a chance to hear that, right? And it's just the way it is. And so that's why I'm so honored, and I hope that people who show up here, that they understand, they have their patient understand that everybody's trauma is different. And that's what we want, you guys, when you bring that, you later bring that out, when we have a chance to talk to some of these minority veterans and ask them about their trauma and the treatment. One of the downside, I guess, of the VA, and I guess in America in general, is that there are not many counselors or psychologists or whatever who look like the minority veterans. And so oftentimes there's that disconnect when they try to explain what's going on in their community. And we want to make sure we're going to talk about that at the conference as well. Anybody want any quick comments before we take off? I know this is fast, but it's like a promo. But any other one, I'll give each person a little last bit of stay-in and promotion before we shut off for this road to conference. And I started with I didn't start, but I started with Taryn first. We'll start with Dr. Saarah Nicolas first. Any last comments about the conference coming up?
I'm just really excited to have the honor to be a part of this process. MST veterans hold a very special place in my heart. And because the resilience is so strong within that community, and the trauma can be so profoundly deep within the community as well. And it's hard to trust. Trust we see as one of the hardest things that can come out of it. And so I'm really grateful for the space where folks can be together and have their experiences normalized and feel that trusting environment.
Great, thank you. Great to have you there as well. Excited to see you as well. It's gonna be great conference. Dr. Kinsler.
Yes, I absolutely, I do. I always have a comment. I'm looking forward to being in the presence of the veterans and their families. It's important to bring the families together to support the veterans, because oftentimes, as you mentioned, Taryn, they're traumatized as well, albeit vicariously. It's still trauma, and they experience it when their loved one is traumatized. So I hope to see the veterans and their family members.
And you're with Dr. Kinsler too. So it's still time to register, and also think about registering your family, because again, they're going through it too. So you really helping them out as well as letting them come to the conference. And guess what? This conference is free. It's like that Spectrum commercial. It's free. It's free. All you got to do is be there. It's free. Last but not least, Taryn, any last comments before we leave?
I just want to say that I don't want people to be afraid of the word mindfulness and yoga or meditation, because if we're breathing, which we all are, because we're here having this conversation, you're already doing yoga and you're well ahead of the game. And so I'm really excited about bringing more tools to people's toolboxes.
We're great. Glad to have you as well. Okay, so there we have it. You just heard from some more of our panelists. We're getting close to the end. Here, guys. Great panelists, all-star panelists. So comprehensive, so diverse. Don't worry. Remind you once again, 9-10 June at St. Pete College, St. Pete. And guess what? It's free. It's free. All you got to do is show up. We got some food there for you. Bring your family. You know, the more that's out there, understand what's going on, the better chance you have. It becomes a holistic and you actually, like we mentioned words like vicariously or secondary trauma, whatever. But all of that still affects the family later on if it's not addressed right now. So I'm telling you again, 9-10 June, 8 o'clock, 4 o'clock each day, free. All you got to do is be there. Woo! I'm so glad about this. We're getting close to the time here. I'm so glad everybody showed up. Our ladies going to show up. A great cast. We got so much more coming up. Until then, this is Tony Wim from Veterans Council Veterans. I plan on seeing you at the MST conference, 9-10 June. And guess what? It's free. Till then. Did I mention it was free? Okay, until then.